Let's talk PGA One and Done strategy for 2026. Because every single year, I do the exact same thing. I say I have a plan. I write down said plan. I create benchmarks to help follow the plan. Then, I'll follow the plan. But I am getting better though. No longer do I convince myself I'm out of contention 3 weeks into the season. Then I start tilting in Phoenix and go, you know what? Harry Higgs feels like a good pick this week. Shockingly, that never works. No matter how much I was feeling it. Although, maybe Harry Higgs is a good idea for this year in Phoenix. No, stop. Fight the temptations. That's what you need to do when you're making your picks. Today, I'm laying this out properly. What you need to do, where to play, how to win. Well, at least how to give yourself a chance to win, or just maybe how not to immediately lose. Let's go with that. There's a lot of money on the line in the 2026 Fantasy Golf One and Done contest at fantasygolfchampionships.com. So pay attention. You pick one golfer per event. You use that golfer once, and then you can't use them again. You earn whatever prize money they make that week. That's it. One and Done may actually be the most simple contest in any sport. It's even simpler than NFL Survivor. And spots are running out in the race for the Mayo Cup. So go to fantasygolfchampionships.com or use the Fanball app now to grab an entry. Or 10. It starts Thursday, January 15th and runs through August. But it always fills before January 15th, so don't wait. Go do that now. And if you already have an entry, I'm giving away some free bonus entries. So you smash the like and check out the description to find out how to get into that draw. Because the world's best one and done contest is the race for the Mayo Cup. Anything else is a terrible payout structure existing only to ride the coattails of this contest with no thought put behind it. The Mayo Cup has $1.2 million guaranteed. Everyone in the top 750 wins money. Everyone inside the top 75 wins at least $2,000. Everyone inside the top 20 wins at least 5 figures. Third place, $55K. Second place, $75K. First place, the winner of the year, $110,000 United States dollars. It's $250 per entry, which works out to about $8 for every tournament in the contest and less than $7 a week over the 8 months. No contest has better value. In the 2026 race for the Mayo Cup, there are 31 total events. It starts January at the Sony Open and goes all the way through the BMW Championship in August. Alternate events don't count. Sorry, Puerto Rico. Neither does the Zurich Classic team event. Your score is based entirely on prize money earned by that player in the tournament you take him in. Not placements, not FedEx Cup points, money. Cold, hard, gish.
At Mayo Experience.
One and dones are pretty simple since the advent of the PGA Tour signature events. The big prize pools are the entire game. This is the biggest mistake people make in the one and done, is treating all wins equal. Spoiler alert, they ain't. There are 2 classes of tournaments, signature and regular events. Signature events, majors, and the Players' Championship have $20 to $25 million prize pools. Regular event, $8 million, $9 million if you're lucky. That gap is absolutely massive. A third place finish in a signature event can out-earn a win in a regular tournament. Everyone inside the top 20 at last year's Players' Championship earned more than the 5th place finisher at the CJ Cup Byron Nelson a year ago. So when you ask yourself, should I use this elite player here? The real question is, where does this player give me the most financial upside? Burn the best players in the smaller tournaments, and you may just be lighting your season on fire. Even if they win the tournament, just because someone is a superstar in a field that lacks superstars doesn't mean you gotta click them. Scotty, Rory, Tommy, Xander, whoever it might be. They're playing a regular event early in the season. You need to pause, because if you think you might want to get them in a signature event, a major, or the Players, you absolutely should not be using that player at the American Express or the Valspar, unless, I suppose, you're extremely confident that you won't need them in the biggest tournaments of the season. Winning $1.5 million now is nice. Winning $4 or $5 million later is actually how you win the one and done. Scotty Scheffler won the CJ Cup a year ago. He earned $1.8 million for that victory. 6 weeks later, he won the Memorial, and it was worth $4 million. In a 5,000 person contest, ownership matters. But it's not the end-all be-all. People have won a one and done before without ever considering what anyone else is doing. Hell, the guy who won last year missed a pick in his signature event and still blew everyone else out of the water. But there's a simple ownership rule that you must consider throughout the year. If you don't have a strong lean on a pick, just look at the top 5 guys on the odds board and take the one who's likely to be the least popular. If all things are equal, odds correlate with win equity. Ownership will determine your leverage. If the least popular elite player wins, you gain massive ground and you didn't waste a future top tier option for a different tournament. That's one and done 101 for large fields. And if you don't know how to determine who will be popular and who won't, I recommend subscribing to Mayo Media Network on YouTube. Turn those notifications on as well. Or hell, the PME podcast, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get podcasts under the Pat Mayo Experience, because we talk about this every single week in context of those tournaments. And ownership isn't about taking a player no one else has. It's more about avoiding a landmine with an extremely popular pick, pivoting elsewhere, and then gaining on the field. Every year, without question, certain players become automatic clicks at certain tournaments. Think about Hideki at the Waste Management Open back in the day, or hell, even longer ago, Luke Donald at the Heritage. 35% ownership where you can only pick one player. At that point, you got a choice. You either eat the chalk and hope for a top 3 finish, or pivot, knowing that if that player fails, you have likely just passed 1/3 of the field. Remember, pick good players. Stop chasing long shots. This is where people torch their seasons. I got a hunch this week. You don't got a hunch. If a golfer's ranked 300th in the world, he's not gonna win very often. He's not gonna finish in the top 3 often, and he's blocking you from using real players later on. Coming in 22nd in a tournament may as well be missing the cut. That money does nothing for you unless you're deliberately differentiating across multiple entries. Long shots are almost always dead money. You're better off taking a solid mid-tier player with actual top 5 equity. Last year's winner didn't use a player ranked outside of the top 62 in the world rankings. That was Davis Thompson at the John Deere Classic, where he was one of the top 5 favorites to win the tournament. There's only 31 tournaments. You can only use a player once. Hell, why are you going anywhere below the top 50 with your picks? As a friendly reminder, amateurs do not win money in tournaments. This has started to matter far more than you realize in the past years because amateurs have started to play their way onto tour and actually be good. Problem is, they earn no prize money. If they finish second, you still get 0. Nick Dunlap won as an amateur 2 years ago, $0. Luke Clanton went through a spell of top 5 finishes, $0. Jackson Coyven, top 3 finish, same thing. If the player doesn't get paid, you don't get paid. You gotta balance your picks for the season. Mapping out every pick at the beginning of the year, that might be a bit much. But having a sense of where you want to use some of the best players can only be helpful. You don't want to get to August and realize all your elite players are gone in big money contests, and now you're scraping the bottom of the barrel. Or you have 12 top 20 players unused, but there's only 4 tournaments remaining. That's a bad allocation of resources. You need to pace your stars, but make certain you use all of them. You don't get to carry it over into next year. Every season, players come out of nowhere and become great selections later on. If you lock yourself into a rigid preseason plan, you're going to miss some of those opportunities. This is probably the most important tip. Falling behind early? Not that big of a deal. Take it from someone who was in first place 10 events into the season in 2023 and barely finished in the money, or was beyond 4,000th place last year and hit back-to-back winners at Masters and Heritage and vaulted inside the top 50. Being in last place after 5 weeks means almost nothing. 2 winners in a row can launch you up into the top 50, but timing matters. Post-Masters is usually a good pivot point. If you're behind, you got to start taking calculated risks, as matching picks with the field is going to do nothing for you. Early in the year, small edges matter. Later in the year, you need to take bigger swings if you're playing catch-up. Now, how do you actually win a one and done? The winner of this contest, the Mayo Cup, will likely have 4 to 8 winners to close the season and close to double-digit top 5 finishes. That's probably the bar. You do that, you're going to be inside the top 5 more often than not. You're not winning this thing by being pretty good. You win this thing by being correct at exactly the right time, while everyone else is making the same safe picks. Large field one and dones are not about predicting golf. It's about understanding the payout structures, managing elite resources, leveraging ownership, staying flexible, and knowing when to get uncomfortable with your roster. Do those things, and then you hope to get lucky. That's also a big part of winning. If you got bad luck, you got no chance. But a bit of luck in your favor, with some sensible planning, that is how you win.
Mayo Experience! Experience!